A vote happening this April could change who represents Virginia in Congress and what that representation means for voters across the state. Early voting is now underway for an April 21st referendum. According to the Virginia Mercury, the proposal would allow lawmakers to redraw Virginia's congressional districts before the next election. So what does that actually mean? It means the lines that decide who represents you could change. Communications professor and head of the Harrisonburg Democratic Committee, Jeff Pearson, says that population is what decides how many districts a state has for representation at the national level.
So for Virginia, what that means is our allocation is 11. So we have to develop districts for the 11. And people that live in those districts get to vote for the people in those districts.
Each district has an elected representative. Those representatives make decisions that affect daily life, from policy to funding to local issues. Districts are usually drawn every 10 years. According to the Virginia Department of Elections, that process is handled by a bipartisan commission. A major goal in drawing those districts is fairness, but that can be difficult to define. In the past, drawing districts was a lot simpler. With a smaller Congress and fewer differences between communities, you could divide areas more evenly. But today, with much greater variation across regions, defining what's fair is far more complicated.
Is it fair to have a little bit of urban, a little bit of city, a little bit of rural all together? Should you try to have large swaths of rural all together? Should you, look at the main industries in the area? What is fair? So
this time, redistricting is happening earlier than usual. As other states have moved to redraw districts mid-cycle, Virginia is now considering doing the same.
A year or so ago, at the urging of President Trump, first, before the last elections, North Carolina did a little redistricting midterm, which caught a little bit of news. But when Texas decided to redistrict in the middle of a cycle, that was something fairly new. And that created kind of this open season on other states.
According to the Virginia Department of Elections, the April 21st referendum would give the General Assembly the power to redraw one or more congressional districts before the next redistricting cycle. A yes vote would allow those changes to happen. A no vote would keep the current districts in place. But beyond the ballot itself, the impact of this decision could extend far beyond Virginia. Political science professor Jim Josephson says this vote is a part of a much larger national conversation.
So that's what this whole election is really about, right? Is the House of Representatives going to turn Democratic and be a check on Trump?
For Bridgewater College, these changes could hit close to home. The school is currently a part of Virginia's 6th district, but if the amendment passes, it would shift into a new 7th. At the same time, a new version of the 6th would create what some are calling a college district.
It would probably give a stronger voice in Congress for whoever gets elected from this new 6th for college students, because it would be a district that would essentially include several of the largest institutions in our state.
Even though Bridgewater would be in a different district, the impact of that shift could still extend across the state. And for students, that impact isn't just about representation. It's also about their role in the process. Josephson says being informed and participating is part of what it means to be a citizen.
To be a citizen is that you have a responsibility to participate in politics and to be informed, and also a responsibility to, to think about your fellow citizens as friends.
As Virginia moves toward this vote, the question isn't just where the lines are drawn, but who they represent. For some, it's just a map. For others, it's their voice. For BC Voice, I'm Whit Cotter.